Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you're a diehard 49ers fan, you know how important every season is, especially when it's about bouncing back from a disappointing previous year. Last season was more than just a rough patch. It was a stark contrast to the high standards this franchise has set over the years. Finishing in last place in the NFC West with a 6-11 record was not what anyone expected, especially after the way this team has historically been a playoff contender, a Super Bowl favorite, and a team that's always looking to get back to the top. But that's the NFL, unpredictable, intense, and unforgiving, and last year's results were a wake-up call for the 49ers organization, players, coaches, and fans alike. It's not just about one bad season. It's about how you respond, how you adapt, and what moves you make to ensure that next season isn't a repeat of the past. The pressure on this team to rebound is enormous, especially considering the talent and the coaching staff that's been built around the roster. You look at the core of the team, and there's still a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but also some critical gaps that need to be addressed. One of the most talked about issues this offseason has been the wide receiver room. It's a unit that was expected to be a strength, but after the trade of Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders, that strength has suddenly become a question mark. Deebo was not just a receiver, he was a playmaker, a hybrid weapon who could line up in multiple spots and create chaos for defenses. His versatility was a huge part of the 49ers' offensive identity, and losing him leaves a void that's not easy to fill. Now on top of that, Brandon Ayuk, who's been developing nicely and showed flashes of brilliance, is still working his way back from a torn ACL. That injury kept him sidelined for most of the offseason, and while he's been doing rehab and trying to get back to full strength, there's no guarantee he'll be at 100% right from the start of the season. That's a concern because Ayuk was expected to step up as a primary target, especially with Deebo now in Washington. The 49ers, coaching staff and front office are fully aware of how crucial it is to have reliable options at receiver, especially with the division rivals always lurking and ready to challenge. So, what's the plan? Well, if you've been following the latest reports and rumors, you know the Niners are actively exploring the free agent market. They're not just sitting back hoping that their current roster will magically gel and produce. No, they're being proactive. Recently, KPRC2's Aaron Wilson broke the news that the 49ers have officially conducted a workout with Robbie Chosen, a veteran receiver who's had an interesting, somewhat turbulent career. Now, Chosen's journey in the NFL has been quite the roller coaster. His career has certainly seen better days, especially in recent years, but the fact that San Francisco is bringing him in for a workout suggests they see something in him, or at least they're exploring all options. Chosen's stats in recent seasons haven't been eye-popping, to say the least. Last year, he caught just one pass for 5 yards with the Miami Dolphins. That's not exactly what you'd call a breakout, but his previous season in 2023 with Miami was a bit more promising, with 4 catches for 126 yards and a touchdown in 9 games. His best days, at least statistically, seem to be behind him, especially considering he's now 32 years old. That age, combined with recent production, makes this a somewhat surprising move. Or maybe it's a sign that the 49ers are looking for depth, experience, or even a spark that might ignite the receiving core in a pinch. It's worth noting that while veteran receivers like Chosen might not be the most glamorous signing, sometimes these types of players bring leadership, familiarity, and a certain level of reliability that's invaluable during a long, grueling season. The team's management and coaching staff are probably weighing whether Chosen's familiarity with NFL defenses, his route running, and his ability to step into a role if needed could be exactly what they require at this moment. But it's still up in the air whether they've reached an agreement or if this workout was just a preliminary look. No official word yet on whether Chosen will be signed, But the fact that the Niners are still actively looking for help at receiver is a clear message. They know they need to solidify that position. Another important aspect to keep in mind is the current state of the receiver room beyond Chosen. Ricky Pearsall has just been activated from the PUP list, meaning he's back in the mix and could potentially contribute early in the season. Pearsall's speed and agility were promising during training camp, and his return could provide a much-needed boost. Jauan Jennings, who's known for his toughness and blocking ability, is still working through a calf injury, which has kept him limited in practice. With Jennings on the mend, the 49ers are clearly feeling the pressure to find depth at receiver, especially with Ayuk still ramping up after his injury and other young players trying to make their mark. This situation at wide receiver is a microcosm of the 49ers' larger challenge, building a balanced, explosive, and reliable offense that can contend with the best defenses in the league. The 49ers have always been known for their physical, run-heavy approach, but in today's NFL, a dynamic passing attack is essential. They have the quarterback, Brock Purdy, who's shown flashes of brilliance and leadership, but he also needs weapons he can trust to consistently make plays. That's why this offseason's moves, including potentially adding veterans like Robbie Chosen, are so critical. They want to ensure that if Ayuk isn't fully ready or if other young receivers struggle, they have experienced options to fall back on. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the San Francisco 49ers are entering a crucial phase. The NFC West is always one of the most competitive divisions in football, with teams like the Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams, and Arizona Cardinals all vying for supremacy. The Seahawks, with their talented young quarterback and revamped roster, are expected to be tough again, while the Rams are hoping to bounce back after a down year, and the Cardinals are in a rebuilding phase. For the 49ers, the goal is simple: return to the playoffs, make a deep run, and finally get over that Super Bowl hump they've been chasing for years now. They have a roster full of talent, a solid defense, and an offense capable of scoring in multiple ways. But consistency at the wide receiver position could be the difference between a deep postseason run and an early exit. And let's not forget the coaching staff. Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme is one of the most creative in the league, and he's known for scheming up ways to maximize his players' strengths. But even the best coaches need reliable weapons, and that's why this search for receiver depth is so critical. The team's success hinges on players like Ayuk, Jauan Jennings, and possibly new additions like Robbie Chosen stepping up when it matters most. As for expectations this season, the 49ers are still in the conversation as one of the NFC's top contenders. They have the talent, the coaching, and the drive to get back to the Super Bowl. But they also know that every detail counts, especially when injuries hit or when players aren't quite at full strength. That's why their moves in the offseason, including this potential signing, are so strategic. They want to be prepared for every scenario, every game, and every challenge the league throws their way. Now, in terms of the broader league context, the NFC is wide open, but the 49ers have a clear window to capitalize on. Their roster, when healthy, is one of the most balanced and talented in the conference. The defense remains formidable, with fierce pass rushers and a secondary that can lock down receivers when needed. Offensively, Brock Purdy has shown he can be a franchise quarterback, and with the right weapons, he could take that next step and lead the team deep into the playoffs. So in conclusion, the 49ers are clearly in a critical phase of their offseason. The recent workout with Robbie Chosen may not be the headline-grabbing move of the summer, but it speaks volumes about their approach, cautious, strategic, and always prepared to adapt. Whether Chosen becomes a key contributor or just provides veteran depth, it's a reminder that the team is actively seeking solutions to ensure they're ready for the demanding NFL season ahead. Fans should keep an eye on this situation because in football, sometimes the smallest moves can have the biggest impact. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.